Hey everybody, today I wanted to share a little trick that I use to completely reduce outer barrel wobble. Even when you properly shim a free float handguard, some outer barrels are just so long that they can't help but have some movement towards the end. This slight movement may cause inconsistent shots, or it may just be a nuisance that your high-end airsoft rifle is just a little bit wobbly. Well, with the help of some zip ties, I've developed a simple solution that I've ended up using on a lot of my builds, so I decided it was about time to make it into a video and share it with all of you. The concept is really simple. By using two zip ties, I create a makeshift barrel spacer that both pulls the barrel up and down at the same time, thus locking it in the center. I'm going to run through a brief animation first to just describe the mod, and then I will install this onto my rifle. So imagine we are looking down the rifle from the front. We're looking directly down the barrel. This piece is the free float handguard. These two circles are indicating the outer barrel and inner barrel set running down through the center of the free float handguard. So the issue here is that the barrel assembly wiggles or has some slight movement in it towards the end of the barrel. This could be vertical movement as well as horizontal movement. My solution here is to feed a zip tie through the top side hole in the handguard and then underneath the barrel. From there, I pull the zip tie back up through the same hole it went through on the handguard, but now on the opposite side. And from here, connecting the zip ties across will complete half of the process. After doing the first set of zip ties, I connect them, but I don't pull them tight. I then repeat the exact same process as before, and I add a second zip tie. However, this time it goes through the bottom of the handguard and it is wrapping around the top of the barrel. Once the zip ties are pulled tight, the barrel will have no room to move at all, and this is all without putting stress on the barrel since it's being pulled evenly in both directions. And that's it. I like to strategically place my zip tie connection areas as close as I can to inside the rail as possible to keep them out of sight once I cut the excess zip tie off, but really they are not that noticeable at all. Alright, so now I'm going to install this on my latest V12 build, which as you can guess has a little bit of barrel wobble. So to get started, I find the area alongside my barrel where I want the spacer to be applied. Right about here looks good, so it's as simple as feeding the zip tie through the top of the handguard and then around the bottom of the outer barrel. I also like to bend the zip ties in my favor so that they are always relatively pointing in the direction where I need them to end up. That just makes it a little bit easier to send through the handguard so that you're able to grab it and pull through the other side. When trying to wrap the zip tie around the barrel and then out the same side, I found it's easiest if you pull the zip tie through an incorrect hole where you can then grab it, turn it around, and then send it straight through the hole that you need it to go through. From here, you can grab the zip tie and then pull it up through the same hole in the handguard in which it entered through. From here, I connect the zip ties across, but I don't completely pull it tight. And just as I did from the top, I'm going to now repeat the same process from the bottom, keeping as close as I can to the first zip tie. With both zip ties in place, I move each zip tie connector towards the inside of the handguard. I am just trying to move them into the least visible place. Once each zip tie has been pulled tight to where there's no slack, I begin alternating, tightening each one click at a time. This is to ensure that there is an even pressure on both zip ties. This is so that the barrel stays center and does not get pulled further towards one side than it does to the other. If you did happen to have a leaning barrel or a completely uneven outer barrel, this is potentially a good way to fix that. And that is essentially it. I cut the remaining zip ties down and then I take a lighter to each area to melt down the material so that there's no sharp edges pulling on my gear. And there it is, the zip ties are barely visible and I forget that they're there all the time. I hope you guys like this little trick. I will definitely be sharing more stuff like this as it develops. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.